On June 23, 2022, Ty France was injured on this ground ball to third base when he got hit in the hand by the base runner. This put the Mariners in a very tough spot because they already had many injuries. Now their best hitter was out. 2 days later, Ty France was placed on the 10-day IL. This made Jerry Dipoto decide to make a trade for Kansas City Royals first baseman Carlos Santana. In 2021, the Seattle Mariners fell one heartbreaking game away from making the playoffs. This offseason, Jerry Dipoto made many blockbuster trades to try and get his team over that edge to make it to the postseason for the first time in over 20 years. After Ty France went down, Dipoto decided to trade for veteran Carlos Santana. He has postseason experience, including almost winning a championship in 2016 after falling just short in a Game 7 against the Cubs. In order to acquire Santana, Dipoto had to give up 2 young pitchers, and this trade made a lot of sense for both sides. Mariners are trying to make it to the postseason this year, so they're in a win-now situation, while the Royals are really not having a great season, so they're starting to be in a rebuild mode, and they're trying to boost their farm club. When Santana was traded to Seattle, they were sitting at 34-41, 7 games below 500. But since the Santana trade, they have gone 11-1, and Santana has batted .282 in those 12 games with 9 runs, 3 homers, and 6 RBIs. All 3 of those homers have come in the last 2 days, July 10th and July 9th. And in those 2 games, he had 3 homers, 2 2-run homers, and a solo shot. Both 2-run home runs ended up being the game winners for Seattle in a very crucial series against the Toronto Blue Jays. Santana got off to a really rough start in Seattle, but he started to pick it up the last couple of games. And right now, it's looking like Seattle might win this trade. Although, if one of those 2 pitchers pans out that was traded to the Royals, Kansas City could easily be robbing the Mariners. On July 7th, the Mariners were 4 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays in the wildcard race. They are starting a 4-game series against those Toronto Blue Jays. Mariners took the first 2 games off of 2 offensive explosions, and then in Game 3, they were down by 1-0 in the 7th inning, when Carlos Santana stepped up to the plate with the 1 on, and he hit a monster shot to right field to take a 2-1 lead. Mariners would hold on and win 2-1. Then the very next day, in the 2nd inning, Santana would hit a leadoff homer to tie the game at 1 apiece. Then later in the game would hit a 2-run homer while down 5-4, and the Mariners would win 6-5 off back-to-back nights, with Santana hitting the go-ahead and ultimately winning home run to give the Mariners a tie in the wildcard race. As a Mariners fan, when I first heard of the Santana trade, it made me really happy, but then I started to think about giving up the 2 young prospects for an old, aging Carlos Santana. It made me a little skeptical, and the first couple games proved that this might have been a bad trade. But then the series against Toronto started, and Santana just came alive. And if the Mariners can make a deep postseason run this year, I think that with Santana making a big impact, if he continues to do this, the Mariners will win this trade. Unless one of those 2 Royal pitchers turns into a phenomenal player that the Mariners will miss out on. But the Mariners have such a young team that they were able to afford to give up these 2 young prospects in order to get Carlos Santana to hopefully make a postseason push this year. But let me know what you guys think of this trade in the comments. Who has won it? Is it too early to tell? We're only 2 weeks in. Santana could very well end up not doing much for the Mariners later this year. And maybe those pitchers pan out and the Mariners just wasted talent on an aging Santana who won't help them much. But only time will tell. At the moment, the Santana trade seems to be working out for the Mariners, but we'll see how it goes. Peace out.